Ready to build a digital product shop? That's amazing. I walk you through how to do that each week, but this week is especially special because we are going to be talking all about what you need to get your digital product shop kicked off the right way for 2022. I know when you're starting your digital product shop, it can be super confusing. You have a lot of questions, and I'm really happy you're here because it means you're in the right place. Let me tell you a little bit about my digital product journey because a lot of people don't know this. I haven't shared it in many places, and you guys are some of the first people to hear some parts of this story. So when I first started with digital products, the year was 2014, and my first digital product was something that I now have for free on my online store. It's at thecontractshop.com/resources if you want to see what I'm talking about. But basically, it was a list of resources that someone could download for $2 on Etsy, and it was a list of these business tools and software and tech that you could use to blog and start your business. That was really fresh on my mind at the time because I was trying to be a private yoga teacher, believe it or not, and I was trying to get word out that I existed, and part of that was blogging. That was a huge learning curve for me, and I knew if it was a big learning curve for me, that it would be a big learning curve for other people. So I compiled this list of tools and resources, slapped a $2 price tag on it, and sold a couple of them every single week. I also really wasn't sure how I was going to make money, but this thing was selling okay. So I thought, well, maybe I could be a graphic designer. Maybe people love my design. They didn't, by the way. It was terrible. I created my second Etsy product. This was a printable that said, employees must wash hands before returning to work. And it just had some like clip art, vectors, and things like that on it. But it was pretty, people could download it and put it in a mom and pop type restaurant in a frame, and it was pretty. Someone easily could have made this themselves, but for $7, you could be the lucky purchaser of one of my terribly designed signs. Fast forward a few months, and I'm really helping people with my legal services and meeting more people in the creative industry. And I had a friend who suggested that I sell my contract templates that I was using with my private clients online. So I started to sell those contract templates under my own name, and that was originally how the contract shop started. It's funny because a lot of people come to me and they are shocked when their first product doesn't hit it out of the park. They forget though that I had several iterations of digital products before I finally landed on the one that worked for me, which was the contract templates that became the contract shop. I sold lots and lots of printables on Etsy, learning about the digital marketplace that existed there and figuring out how to deliver customer service and how to do refund requests and how to manage people's expectations. It was a real trip to learn how to do all of these things in 2014 when we had so many less resources available to us than today. With today's resources, you are going to be able to fast forward this journey that took me many, many years to come up with and try, not only because the tech and the tools are better, but because you're doing things like watching this channel. You're subscribed, by the way, right? If I were to start over in 2022 with my next digital shop, the first thing I would do is start to come up with some ideas for products. And before I created those products, I would pre-sell them. We have lots of videos on this very channel about pre-selling, so I'm not going to go into that here, but just know that if you want to keep learning about that, we have tons of resources available to you there and at christinascalera.com. I love pre-selling because it would give me exactly the kind of products that people were interested in buying from me and exactly the right topics. Just this morning, I was walking a client from S4 through the results of her pre-sale and helping her to determine what her next products are going to be, as well as what products she markets more heavily based on the pre-sales that she got. So the shop in question is Carrie Roberts' SOP shop with a PPE. And we were super thrilled with the results of her sale because we were able to see that not only was there demand for the types of products that she wanted to offer, but in my opinion, there was a clear winner based on the number of people who had seen the products and the conversion rate that she was getting, plus the price point for that product. And now Carrie can take that pre-sale information. Not only has she, made a couple bucks in the process, but she can go and she can sell more of what is already doing well in her store and create further products around that topic because she knows that her customers are going to need more support, more products around that very topic. She was able to get her presale up and selling within a month, even though she was starting from scratch and didn't have the product listings. She just had a vague idea of what the products would be, and she had a full-time job. So these are things that are really critical, especially for those of us who don't have a lot of time or who just want to work smarter, not harder. Congratulations, Carrie, if you're watching. It's been such an honor to work with you, but even a bigger pleasure to see what you've been able to do in such a short amount of time and just seeing how you apply the S4 method. If you're new here and you don't know what S4 is, I'll link it below. It's the Simple Sustained Shop Sales System. So the S4 system is what I'm referring to. Okay, so you have your pre-sale, you've sold some things, you're making some money. Now you create the products because you sold them, you have to fulfill them. The next step is to start getting traffic to your e-commerce store. This is especially easy if you're in a situation like Carrie, where you had a product that did well and you can continue to create resources around that product. When I'm creating freebies and content around our best-selling products, I always ask, what would the step before this product be? So for example, what would my customers be doing by the time they found out they needed a product like this in their life? And I try to create the content at, like, if my product is here, I try to create the content at a step before or two so that I am always serving that audience well and they're finding my product just in the nick of time, right exactly when they need it. And that is all by design because the content that I've created for them walks them right into my product. For example, if I sold Canva templates, my customers probably aren't waking up in the morning and thinking, oh gosh, I need some Canva templates today. No, they're thinking, man, I need to be better at Instagram and I need to post more frequently. And oh, these carousel things are really working out for a lot of people. I should do that. But I don't have the graphics for it and I'm not a designer. That is where I would be creating content to sell my Canva templates. In this instance, with the example I gave you, I would be blogging and doing YouTube videos and IG lives and all that stuff around how to grow an Instagram audience. And the secret that I would reveal in each video or piece of content is that really it comes down to you doing carousel graphics. And by the way, I sell a template pack of carousel graphics. In fact, I have 6 different kinds for you to choose on my store. Obviously, I'm not going to do it that salesy, but we don't have a lot of time. So I'm making sure you get the point. A lot of people make traffic this really complicated thing. They think they need Facebook ads or Google or SEO or whatever. It really is just about you talking about your products in front of people. And it makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to talk about things in a non-salesy way if you're offering value at the same time, especially value that walks them right into needing or seeing that they need your products. The final thing you'll want to make sure that you do as you start your digital download shop in 2022 is that you keep revisiting what you have available to you. That means that just like with Carrie, I keep coming back to her because it was a great example, but we needed to break down how many people were seeing her products and how many people were purchasing and what the product price was. So in your e-commerce shop, there's a holy triangle of sales. The first thing is your conversion rate, the second thing is your traffic, and the third thing is your average order value. When you have a e-commerce store, you just keep going around and around that triangle and we'll improve the average order value a little bit. We'll bump the price up. We'll improve the conversion rate a little bit by seeing what people are doing on the pages on your store, which I go into detail in S4. Then we're going to be looking at your traffic and seeing what ways of traffic are the best for you. Because if you're really shy and you're not a fan of video like this one, then we're not going to put you on YouTube. We're going to give you other things like a blog or Pinterest to focus on as far as traffic drivers. And if you are really extroverted or you just love video, there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to lean into that. So we're going to make sure that your traffic is something that works for you, that's sustainable, that you can keep up with, that doesn't burn you out, and that feels really, really fun and engaging for your audience, because if your content sucks, your audience isn't going to be there. There's nobody that's going to watch bad content. You don't have to be good at math. Don't worry. Like, numbers does not equal math, but it does mean that you need to be taking a focus on what's working and breaking that down in a way that is sustainable for you. So for example, if you just want to track those 3 metrics, the number of people that are coming to your shop, the traffic, the average order value of what they are spending in your online store. So how much are they spending per each order that comes through? And also how many people are converting. So if you have 100 people come to your online store, but only 3 people purchase, that's a 3% conversion rate. And we want to make sure that we get that as high as possible so that we can maximize any kind of traffic that is coming your way. Then again, we want to layer on that average order value, keep bumping our prices up as much as the market will tolerate it without going elsewhere. And then we are doing all the things that we need to. We're tracking all the metrics we need to in order to keep growing as a digital product store. So if you have not focused on one of these three things yet, which I'm going to guess that if you haven't had the sales that you want, one of these areas is severely lacking and you might not know which one it is just yet. Maybe this is news to you that this holy triangle of sales for your e-commerce store exists. If you weren't aware that this existed, now you do. And if you're not subscribed, but you want to grow quickly, you'll definitely want to make sure that you change that. Make sure you hit the subscribe, the like, all those buttons that we love so much, because each week I go into detail about how you can continue to grow your digital product shop and come out with new and exciting new digital products. That was a lot of news. Finally, just a reminder, it took me over 6 years to build my product shop to the behemoth that it is today. That doesn't mean it has to take you that long, but if you don't see the results that you're looking for in the first launch, but you see some results, that's a really, really, really solid start. It's very rare that I have students come out and immediately make 5 figures with their product shop. I have had it happen, but it doesn't always happen. It's much more common to see them make $500 to $1,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's built and it's something they can continue to sell for many, many years to come. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I'll see you next week.